But thanks all for coming. We have, so Anna and Julia, who I'll introduce in a minute, have spent the last couple of weeks developing a web page so that you guys can do this at your own pace whenever you want. And then we'll just spend a whole lot of time playing today. That's sort of the goal. So, so let's go ahead and start so you guys can start building. And if you can, I will screen share. And Julia, if you want to throw the link in the chat for everyone, please. So there's three of us that are going to facilitate. So we'll probably try and do some handy dandy breakout room stuff. I hope you guys all have spike primes. We were originally going to do this with Raspberry Pi hats, so using the Pi hat, but then it's impossible to get a Raspberry Pi these days. So we figured that wasn't a very good plan. And so we figured a way to do it, or Julia and Anna figured a way to do it using web browsers. So that's today's goal. So I'm Chris. The only important thing you need to know about me is I have 3 grandchildren. Julia is a rising sophomore. So she took, if you guys know Ethan Danahy, Dr. E, she took his class last semester and then ended up, as a result of that, working for me this summer, and has been great in developing a lot of the materials you guys use today, along with Anna, who's a rising junior, who worked together with Julia on all this development. So any complaints you have goes right to them. Anything that was great, well, so our ultimate goal is for you all to actually control your robot over the web. So to drive it around with a camera. So for instance, you can see the one I built this morning to make sure that this all worked. It's just my phone in a car. You can actually zoom in with your phone to this thing so that we all can see what your robot is seeing. It'd be kind of fun. And the big hope is when we all get together at the very end, we're going to try and see if we can have somebody control somebody else's robot while they're controlling the original person's robot. To do that, we're going to have to do a bunch of IoT stuff as well. So about halfway through, we'll start talking IoT. Julia and Anna have done a great job of giving you examples and everything of what that can look like. But that's enough talking. Let's go to building. So the first thing we're going to ask you to do is to build a robot. So it's a TeleRobot that will take your phone and drive it around in your room. We will take about 20 minutes or so to have everyone build it, write some simple code just to make it drive around, make sure all that works. If you don't have access to the software, we can put the link up in the chat as well. Sound good? Any questions on that?
Nope.
Okay.
None coming through in the chat, so no, that sounds good.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start the timer, and in 20 minutes, we're going to call you all back, and everybody's going to hold up their cool cars. And if anybody's got a really cool dance that it does, we'll all have to watch that. If you have any questions, we will have this main room for you to come back and ask. We will also have breakout rooms that you can hop into with Anna and Julia to ask them any building questions, coding questions, questions of what it's like to go to Tufts, asking about their Frisbee skills, whatever it is that you need.
Yep.
Excellent. Time to build.
So Tim W asks, are we designing our own robot or are there plans? So it's Tim, I think it's free build. You design your own. So more creative, the better. Do we get instructions to build from Sue? Yep, that's pretty much the same question. So yeah, it's as creative as you can be.
There on the web page, there are pictures of existing builds, so you can copy those if you want, or you can just go to town trying to figure out how to get your phone to stand up on your Spike Prime. Let's see how people are doing. If you got something, hold it up to the camera and let's see what people built. Nice. How can we get a picture of all of them? My screen's not big enough. Excellent. All right. If you haven't finished yours yet, we still have time. Thought was now just to see where people stand. So I know a couple people texted me that theirs is not quite done yet, and other people have it already moving. So that's good. What I propose is we take a break from building for a second, hand the floor over to Anna, and she's going to talk a little bit about getting the code to work so that you can control the spike prime from your web page. You will need to use Chrome for this because we're using Web Serial, which allows the web page to talk directly to your hardware. So Anna, it's all you.
Hi guys, I'm Anna, and so here I'll share my screen. Hopefully, there we go. So we were just on the Build Your Robot page. So if we switch over to the Direct Control page, this is the next step in what we're going to be doing. The goal of this page is to code your robot, and once we download different programs into different slots on the robot to move forward, right, left, backward, whatever, then we can use the arrow keys here to move the robot around. So the first step in doing so is to visit the Lego Spike app, which is linked right here, or like any other IDE of your choice that you can program a Spike Prime with, to download 4 movement programs. And if you want to, some extra action, if you'd already added that to your robot, could be like turning or panning, something like that. But mainly just these four movements to your code, and download the movement to each of these slots. So forward needs to be slot 0, right needs to be slot 1, backwards needs to be slot 2, left needs to be slot 3, and then if you're adding another movement, which you do not have to if you're not ready, but if you want to do that, that is slot 4. So that's step 1. And then step 2 is connecting to Service Dock, which should be fairly easy. There is a help page that I don't know if we mentioned before, but it's right here if you have any questions about how to do so. But oops, you can click here, something will pop up. I don't know if you can see this right now. Sometimes it doesn't come up when I'm screen sharing, but you can connect to a serial port, and then you can start moving your robot once this icon turns green. So again, there's steps here. Should be fairly simple. If you guys have any questions, please reach out to any of us.
Thanks, Anna. So we're going to set up the breakout room again. I think this time I'm going to have a breakout room for me as well, so that we have more people to help on any code issues you might run into. And so basically, all that's going to happen is the Service Dock will, when you press one of those buttons, will call the code in one of the slots, so that you should be able to remotely control in that way. All right, so I was figuring we do about 15-ish minutes to get this going, and then we'll see, then we'll go online and go virtual. So let me set up the breakout rooms. And you can jump into whichever one you want whenever you need help.
All right, we're back, Gareth. Okay, you're muted. Okay.
Thanks.
No worries.
So,
All right.
why were we opening up the Spike Prime app? What's the page?
Okay. So you want to what we're going to do is put programs in different slots in the so with the Spike Prime, you can program in about 20 different programs. So there's slot 1, slot 0 and up to 19 allows you to put programs in each different slot. So it can store, if you like, 20 programs. And what we're going to do is put a program to get it to move forward in slot 0. I think it was, let me have a look. I'll just pull up their web page. So have you got access to their web page? Have you got that?
I just opened up the app, the Spike Prime.
Oh,
app.
okay. So you want to jump onto this one. I'll share this as well in the chat function.
Okay.
So see that, yes,
Got it.
CEO innovations. So open that one up. Have you got that coming up? You can see it? Yeah. Okay. So,
Not secure. Oh, hold on. It's telling me off.
okay.
The school, the school doesn't like it.
Okay.
So,
It won't let you go there?
no.
Okay.
I'm in the same boat as well. I'm trying to follow the link. It just tells me it's not safe or whatever.
Is it because it's not, I wonder if they haven't got the right. No,
Something's been picked up by our Infrared system as that it doesn't have a verified certificate. Its safety certificate is invalid.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how you get around that other than just, can you bypass it and choose to go there anyway?
Maybe. Let it go.
Often you can. So K Kennedy, what does the K stand for?
Oh, that's Kane.
Kane. Okay.
I do have a brother. I have not often, so it's not biblical, I promise.
Okay. So if I share, maybe if I share my screen, you'll see what you're trying to get to. Okay, so you guys can probably see this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this was the welcome page, a quick overview. Then we've been through the build your robot phase, and we're now in the direct control. So this is where we're about to set our robots up so that we can control them. So you can have it into slot 0. Basically here's our wheelbase robot, and we're going to put the program to get it to move forward in slot 0. So I'm going to jump into the Spike Prime app here, and then grab a new, I'll just connect it up. So if you can either use Bluetooth or, so I'll switch my hub on as well. So it's turning on, and I'm connecting up to, have you Gareth, you wouldn't have made a connection before, would you? You wouldn't have?
No, it's my first time with Prime.
Okay, so have you installed the app prior?
Yes, I have, and I've charged it up. That's all I've done.
Okay, no worries. So have you started the app and gone into the Spike Prime section?
Indeed.
Yep. Okay, so you're here in this area. Okay, let's go to a new project. And when you click on that, it gives you the option of these 3 languages that you can program it in.
So my projects, new project, I see.
New project, yeah. And then it gives you, do you want to go into Word blocks or Python? For the moment, we can just go into, it might be just as easy to go into Word blocks for this section. Okay, hit create. Yeah. If you want to do it in Python, you can. And you can see here, we can determine what slot we want I've just gone down to the bottom right here, and we can determine what slot we want the program to be put into.
Oh, yeah.
So for the moment, what we're going to do is put a program that makes the robot go forward, and we're going to pair up our motors. So this is about setting 2 motors to be movement motors. So we're going to drag that out. What we should do first of all is connect up our hubs. So see up here, there's the connect. So I can click on that, and it gives me the option to connect via Bluetooth or USB. If you can, definitely connect via Bluetooth. On the hub itself, you can see there's an instruction to tick that button, press that button there, that starts at Bluetooth broadcasting. So it can be paired. and then once it'll beep, and then it'll after like 30 seconds or a minute or so or less, it will pop out here, but it can take up to 30 seconds. So give me the thumbs up or let me know when you've got, it'll come up initially as toy, then it might come up as toy and then rename itself as Lego Hub. And then I've renamed all mine so that they've got logical names and they're written on the hubs as well.
I'm connected.
Connected, great. Okay, so's mine. Kane, yours is done. Good. Okay, so we go back to the project, and now we've set the motor movements to A and B, but you can see I've got mine connected to C and D, so I want to come up back here and change it. So the two motors that are connected are C and D. Now what we want is just to get it to, we can also control the speed. We might set that parameter. Okay, so might make it slow to start with, 30% or so. And then I just want it to move forward for 10 centimeters.
Sorry, I'm just going to move to so I can have a couple of monitors on the go.
Okay. And then upload it, and it will either go forwards or backwards. So if you get that bit of code going.
Can't really see what
What I've done.
the block-based code. I can't. It's too small on the screen for me to. Oh, thanks. That'll work.
Let me fix it.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Okay. So I came in and I grabbed the second block I went to the pink blocks, which are movement blocks, and I grabbed the second one from the bottom, the pink one. And I told the hub which motors are going to be two motors that are wheelbase. So I've grabbed it and made them, because my motors are connected up here, I can see to C and D. Yours are hopefully the same. Can you see? Oh, I'll shut this down. I'll make it full screen.
I've got it all. It's in there.
Oh, you got it all? Okay.
Yep.
No worries. And so now run your robot and it will either go forwards or backwards. For 10 centimeters. Did it go forwards or backwards?
Went forwards, but maybe that's backwards the way I built it.
Well, it depends. Whichever way you want it to be forwards is forwards. Whichever way you want it to be. So mine, if you like, has the wheels there.
Just wondering why it did a little 30-degree turn at the end. Hold on.
Yeah, that's odd.
I think the cabling got in the way.
Oh, have you got a cable connected?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, the cabling on the motors. Yep, on the sensors motors. Yep. So you can, if you can sort of tie those out of the way, it can be helpful, or loop them up.
Yeah, I've just put a couple of little clips on them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Kane, you're all right? You're underway?
Yeah, I can't quite get it connecting to Bluetooth to my laptop. Can I do it through like an iPad or something? Is that still possible?
Yes.
Cool.
The iPad, I don't know whether we'll get to whether it'll be a tricky one after. You can try it for the moment. Let's get the programs on there.
Yeah.
For the moment. Yeah.
Okay, so I've just got it connected via cable to the laptop at the moment, and I've just been just downloading it into the Zero. slot,
Yeah.
if that
Yeah.
works.
And did it go forwards or backwards?
Yeah.
Or you haven't done that yet?
Yeah, I tested it. I've tested it a couple of times. It's going forwards, which is good.
Good. Okay.
Yep. Mine's going forward now too.
All right. So the next thing we want to do, we've loaded the forward program into slot 0. We now want to load a turning program into slot 1. So let's change this. And we can say, you know, it'll be logical if it's going forwards, then turning right, we can do that. And then put that up into, change down the bottom here where it says 0, we're going to change that across into slot 1. Okay. And this should allow us when we upload that. So we're going to upload it using the yellow play button, and it should start it turning. Oh, I've got to finish. I've got to close that up. Yep. And that should turn your laptop. I'm going to turn your robot.
Should it be turning like 90 degrees? Because mine's not quite turning exactly 90.
Yeah, mine won't turn. We'd have to adjust. See, so I'll show you mine.
Yeah.
You'd have to adjust the distance it's turning, like from 10 centimeters. You can see mine straight up is sort of 90 degrees to the camera there, and it's turned a little bit more than.
Okay.
So it'll depend how far you built the wheels apart, that sort of thing. So which is what its turning circle will be. So mine probably needs to be adjusted to 9. Yours might, you said it didn't turn far enough. It might need to be adjusted to, you know, 11 or so.
Oh, cheers for that.
But not that it, you know, it doesn't matter if it's not perfect 90 degrees. So now, yeah, that's pretty good. I'll change it down one more or something. But, and then we're ready to do it where it goes backwards. So, okay, so I'll upload that. Okay, that's pretty close to 90 degrees for me. Yours might be different. Okay, then we want to put into slot. So that's gone into slot 1. If you've got that, now we want to put into slot 2, or well, let's do slot 3 next, I'd say, and get just to go in the opposite direction if we got our 90 degrees pretty close.
James, can I interrupt you for a second, please?
Yes, sure.
Can you please enable screen sharing for everyone so that in the breakout rooms we can see people's screens to help out?
Oh, okay. Enable screen sharing for everybody. Multiple participants can share simultaneously.
Yeah, over the breakout rooms. That'd be great.
Yep. Okay.
Cool.
Can you just
Thanks.
check whether that's working?
Gareth, can you share your screen? If you hit the screen share, what happens?
Oh,
Yeah, I am.
sorry, I'm busily trying to get my robot to do 90 degrees.
I am.
Okay. Oh, okay. So 120 degrees is my 90 degrees. Screen share. Hold on. Share screen.
I'll stop sharing.
Yeah, I can share screen if you need.
Perfect.
Right.
Let me just.
Great.
I'll be back if that all works for the breakout room, but otherwise.
No
thanks.
worries. Yeah. But yeah, as host. Okay. So, where are we?
So, sorry, I'm this is going to be a dunce question.
No.
I'm just confused as to why we're changing the number 1 down in the.
Oh, why are
position.
we doing that? Because when we're remote controlling it, we're going to be calling a particular program to get it to do a particular movement. So
Right,
one
so-
program.
Do we save that and then move on to the next one?
Yes. So you run it. If you run it, it saves it onto the hub itself.
Okay. So
yeah,
that program is called position 1.
it's slot. Yeah, exactly. Position 1, position 0 will be a forward program. So if you're looking at your screen here, so if I stop my program, and so when you can see, can you see on here?
Yeah. So that's okay. I don't have to click save or save as or anything. It just automatically.
No. Once you run it in a particular slot, it will be saved there.
Gotcha.
So say slot 0, when I run that, if I'm just running it on the hub, the button there, it runs
All right.
forward for 10 centimeters.
Oh, okay, I'm with you.
Slot 1 should make it turn to the right slightly. Then you stop that program. And then slot 2 runs backwards if you've set it up, and slot 3 will run to the right. So you've got to stop the program, and then so you're navigating on the buttons on the left and the just to the left and the right. So now when I run slot 3, it should go backwards for a little. Oh no, it turns to the slot 3 should turn to the right. So I've now got 4 programs in. One will make it go forwards. One will make it go to the slot 0 makes it go forwards. Slot 1. Are you able to? Oh, you can't see my screen at the moment. I'm talking into thin air. Oh, well,
No, it's probably.
I'm talking about something you can't see.
Yeah.
So here is, I've just split my screen. So we've got the code on that side, and we've got slot 0 should make it move forwards. Slot 1 should make it turn to the right.
I'm not sure why we were supposed to start screen sharing. All the while.
Oh, no, I think, you know how I'm screen sharing here to help you guys?
Can I stop my chair so that I can see your screen?
Yes, yeah. No, he just wanted to test that it would work for you. Yeah, for other people in other rooms.
I've got you back now. Okay.
We are going to go until the top of the hour and come back, and then so he had.
Could you just go through your code from 0 to 3? Just
Yep. Just
check
give me
that
1
we're
second.
aligned.
Okay. All right. Sorry. What was that one? Go through my. So.
Let's have a quick look at your codes from 0 through to 3.
Oh yeah, I've just been changing this one. So my first code was to go straight for.
But your hub set to number 3 down the bottom.
Yeah. So and I changed that. So say slot 0. You wanted to know what that was?
Yes, please, just to make sure that.
Yep. So slot 0. Okay. Is that's the code. So I'm just going to run it now, and I'll show you my little robot. Yeah. So I'll run it. I'll press the run button. It closes the previous block program, then runs, and it just moves forward. Yep.
Do you need to download that, or?
I have, but by running it, I've downloaded it.
Okay.
So it's now sitting in slot 0. So when I start slot 0, if I start it on the robot, it will just move forward 10 centimeters. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it's just that 1, 2 are all the same now. But they didn't download and they didn't save as a particular number.
Okay. So then I come down here to this slot where I can change the number. I'm going to change it. So slot 1. Can you see I've now changed it, so it's going to upload now into slot 1?
Yep.
And this time I want it to turn to the right. So I'm going to change this bit of code. So now it's a right turn. And for, I think, I'm deciding 7 centimeters. Okay. And now it'll upload the program into slot 1, and that will rotate the robot. Once it does it, it'll rotate to the right. Okay. Now, have you done that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to go to slot 2, and I'm going to make this program go backwards. And I'm going to make it go backwards for 10 centimeters. I could make it go backwards for whatever I liked. And then I'm going to upload that into slot 2 by playing it. And it will stop the previous program, and now it will go to slot 2 and load that program into slot 2.
Great.
Then I'm going to go to the other one, the slot 3 in a moment. I'm going to change it so it's a turn to the right and 7 centimeters again, based on the turning ratio of my robot. And I'm going to change it to slot 3. And then I'm going to upload it, which will be saving it onto that slot, but it'll also run it so I can see what's happening. And that will be a turn to the left. Yeah. So now I've got my basic 4 movements happening.
Gotcha.
Okay. And in slot 4, I can put something else that I might want it to do. So let's say, you could have slot 4 as something where it, does, what if 24 centimeters would be a complete 360 of the room, wouldn't it? Should be, in theory. So I've got to change it to slot 4, otherwise I'll override what I had in slot 3. And so now it should turn to the left. But it's a little less than a full circle, so 28.
Wow.
It's getting close. Okay. So 30 centimeters or so, 32. There you go. All right, so it's a slight overshoot, and but yeah, it gives it basically a pan movement, or like a 360-degree view. And you could have it play a sound or something else. Now,
Sorry, James, I'm just going to mute the call for 2 seconds.
no worries. There we go. We've got it. Yes. So it'll give a cat meow sound, and yeah, you can whack whatever else you like in there as well.
Just out of curiosity, how many slots are there on each
On the hub.
program? Yeah, on the hub.
Yeah, there's 20. So from 0 to 19. So if you wanted
Okay.
to see what's on each slot, you can come up here to see this where we connected the hub in the first place.
Yeah.
And then we've got manage programs as well. So there, and you can see the programs we've got in there. So you can see 5 minutes ago, I put something into slot 0, and then you scroll down, you can see to 19.
Very nice.
So if I named these programs correctly, problem is I've just modified the same program each time. But if you named it, you can call this one forward, this one turn right, backwards, turn left, and 360-degree spin.
Right. Very nice.
So, and then if we, so if I jump back, and then
Okay.
I'm using a small, and then I jump back to my program. So I've now got a robotic platform, and it has slot 0 is forward, slot 2 is back, slot 1 is turn right, slot 3 is turn left.
So sorry, my Google Chrome just reset. So I've just lost all my progress, but I have all of the things logged in the in the brick, I've got the projects 0 through 3 in their slots. Is there a way for me to open them from there?
You can't open them. Oh, okay. So you're not using you're using the web version of the.
Yeah, just because I don't have it installed on my laptop. I only have it installed on my iPad, which is how I've managed to get Bluetooth working, and so I've been playing around with it there. So just for today, I've got it on my my Google.
Okay, so I think with the browser it doesn't store the programs, and you can't extract them. I don't think you can extract them out of the hub to make sense on the computer. I think
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So,
I mean, it's not super complicated, so it should be pretty easy to just rebuild. So
yeah. But if you've got them stored, so long as you've got the programs on the hub, we're just about ready for the next step. What we should try and do is let's try and get. I wonder if you can't get to the website, it will probably. So I'm going to shrink my.
Right, I've got the web app open again. My Google just wanted to update.
Okay. Are you able to see this screen? So I've just clicked on that service dock. Are you able to see this serial port connection screen?
Give me one moment.
Is there a screen that's appeared?
I can click on that. I can't get to that that CEO innovations .org because it's still not happy with that. But it doesn't like the certificate, but
yes. I think that's going to be a problem, for connecting.
Right.
So I've just disconnected via one of the things you have to do is disconnect via the Spike app, and then you have to connect via this service dock, and the service dock is up. And that's where I think you guys are going to have a little bit of trouble. Serial port. Because you do need to be able to use,
Right.
Okay. So you see how mine has now gone from red. On that, you can see it's gone from red to green.
Whereabouts? Sorry.
Here, where I'm moving my mouse on this web page.
Oh, sorry. The screen, like the camera screen, was literally right over the top of that. So I just had to move that. Yep, cool. I see that.
Oh,
now.
okay. Yeah. So. Okay. So there it was red and it's now green because I've got a connection from that particular web page to my robot.
Right. Okay.
Which is different to having the Bluetooth connection from the Spike app to this. So it's a separate connection. It's a connection between different programs, and it's this service dock, which once we set up the rest of it will allow us to remotely control these particular robots.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So.
Okay, that's interesting.
What do we got there?
It's just as I change between the numbers and downloading it to the robot, it just keeps playing the program 4. Even if
do you want to share what you're doing on your screen? I'll stop sharing and you share your the thing, and we'll see if we can troubleshoot it. Okay, so so you've now got it moving to the right.
Yeah, I've got all of these programs in.
Yeah.
But like when I change to program 3, for instance,
So you've now uploaded the same program into it. Just then you played it, which is uploading it. So say on slot, go to slot 0. So go back to 0. Yep. Now let's make that the move forward one. Okay. So just have it go. So yep, that bottom one. Yeah. See where it's turning right? No, the bottom. Yep. That perfect. Okay. Make that now. You can make it 26 centimeters. It depends how big the space you've got around you is. Okay. So you're going with 26?
at least actually.
Okay, 20. Okay. So now up.
So, welcome back, everyone. I wanted to just check in and see how people were doing. My brief survey shows that most people have a built vehicle. Most people have some code running on the vehicle. Few people have 4 different or 5 different programs running the vehicle. Does that sound about right? Is there anybody who does not have a vehicle? Is there anyone who doesn't have code working at all and is willing to admit it? Interesting. Thanks, Gareth. Yeah. I thought you guys were glitching in and out all the time.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it might be at your end there, Chris. So, Julie, would you confirm that?
Yes, I think Chris, your microphone just sounds a bit like something was going a little bit wrong with it there, but
Like you've got a really, really bad case of COVID. Right? Yes. So.
we can't hear you right now, Chris.
He's just fixing. He's just resetting his microphone, I'd say.
Can you hear me now? How about now?
Ah,
That's perfect.
amazing, much better. Yes.
No glitching? My earphones are having problems.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks like we have some people that are still having service dock issues. Make sure, yes.
I'm here.
Excellent. What we can do is, so I think what I'd like to do is maybe make sure that everybody at least has a working system. But maybe we'll do this in 2 parts. So maybe we'll have Julia then go explain the next step. So let's assume for now that everybody has the concept of I push a button on my web page and my car moves in a certain direction. The next point is to be able to some way make it so that somebody else can actually do that same button push from somewhere else in the world. So Julia will explain how that works, and then we'll do breakout rooms again, and we'll try and get everybody so that they have the buttons working.
Awesome, sounds great. So I'm gonna quickly share my screen. Hi, everyone. So our next step, as Chris was saying, is now we need to find a way to make it so that we can all access something in the cloud. In this case, we're going to use something called Airtable, which is going to let us control each other's robots. So basically, like kind of like here, this might help. This is a drawing that Anna made, is that you're on your computer. So on this website, we're going to be controlling this table right here. So you're going to make your own version of this. And then the robot is essentially, as the next step, going to be reading in those values if it changes. So if it says forward here, then the robot will execute what you have in slot 0, which is going to be forward. So this tab right here, Airtable control, all it's going to do is change the value of the Airtable. And so you can use this guide right here. So if you click the link that's right here, this is kind of just a step-by-step guide to setting up your Airtable. So setting up something like this that this website can then control. And then if you have any questions, obviously we'll be here to answer that. And it might take a second to, like the first time you set it up, it might take a second to load in here, but ultimately you should be able to be like, I'm going to click forward here, and then it's going to show up here on your table. And you're going to need these credentials here. So these text boxes are basically going to store the information so that it knows which table to go to. And in the guide, as you go along, it's going to explain to you like how you can get those pieces of information that are going to let you make that connection to the cloud. Any questions? And again, there's the help page too that can like help you with anything, and we're also all here as well. But this guide will be hopefully helpful in just getting that setup done.
So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to put a middleman in the middle of everything, so that when you hit the button, instead of going to your robot, it'll go up into the cloud onto this basically Excel spreadsheet, which Airtable is, and it'll change a value on the spreadsheet. At the same time, your robot will be continually asking that spreadsheet what the current value is, and when the value says forward, it will move forward. So the first step of that is just getting the spreadsheet to change. So that's what Julia just said. And then the last thing we'll do is to see if you can actually complete the whole thing. So you'll hit the button, information will go out to the cloud, it'll come back from the cloud and go down to your robot, and you'll have a fully telerobotic system. So to do that, you're going to need to make your own Airtable account. It's free, and Julia's and Anna's instructions walk you through how to do that. So I think what we'll do now is we'll have a couple different breakout rooms. My breakout room will be helping people get Airtable working. Julia's breakout room will be helping getting people's Bluetooth working. Anna's breakout room will be helping people get the coding working. And James's is for all the people that can't understand an American accent and need an Aussie accent on all of those things. Sound good? We'll reconvene in 20 minutes.
Okay.
Where's the
All right, I'm just going to swap into one of the breakout rooms. So the one.
Three people.
Oh, there he is.
Kane, we're back again. And who have we got? We've got Adrienne.
And Karen and Wilson.
Ah, Wilson, how are you? Karen. Yes, good. Okay. Now, do you guys understand, you got questions or?
Yes, I wrote on the chat. Do I have to use the Spike webpage, or can I use the Spike app to do this Airtable thing?
Well, so okay, so what we've done what you hopefully have done so far, built your robot, and then you can use the Spike app to put a program in the first 4 slots.
Yeah,
so
I've done that. But it's
0 is
the
forward.
Airtable
Okay.
part.
Now you need to break your connection and connect via, I'll just share my screen. So you can't have 2 Bluetooth connections going at once. So you've got to break the connection with the Spike app and move it so you're now using this service dock. So, and then we have to set up an Airtable account. So here you've got.
James, if we've got 2 robots, we'll need to set up Airtable on 2 devices, right?
Yes. So separate Airtable accounts.
Yeah. And if I'm on my iPad, can I still do this?
Well, yeah. Sorry.
I'm on Safari on my iPad.
On Safari on the iPad, no, you have to go through Chrome.
Right. On devices, okay.
Yeah. So I guess the first thing, are you able to get a Bluetooth connection? Adrian, you're on a computer, aren't you? A laptop?
Yes.
Are you able to get a Bluetooth connection happening between service dock and your robot?
We're working on it.
I don't know.
Okay. Can you see the screen? Are you able to see the screen that I'm sharing?
Yes.
Okay. So that would, for me, if I refresh this, it will break my Bluetooth connection to my robot and it will go red. And red means I don't have a connection. So what I need to do is to get that connection. Are you connecting via a MacBook or a Windows?
MacBook.
Okay, apparently the description for MacBooks is better. So when you press this, a little pop-up dialog screen appears. And it probably...
Sorry, when I press...
Yeah, you need to enable it.
So I hit cancel. When I press this particular, up in this top right section where it's got the red dot, I'm going to press that. And then I get a dialog box. I'm not sure whether that new dialog box is, you can see.
I can.
You can? Okay. And it's got a whole lot of different connections that I can make, all the COM ports. And I've been through and I've checked, it should come up as serial, sorry, on yours might come up and say Lego Hub or something. You might be able to find the connection there. Mine is in Windows. It gives a really bland description, just says serial port profile and then COM9. And if I highlight that and then hit connect, then after a little while, it connects via Bluetooth to my hub. So I now have a connection between that web browser and my hub.
I have what
we've got
looks like yours.
Okay, and it's gone green there. How the dead. Okay, so you've now got a connection. It's showing Bluetooth. So the next thing we've got to do. Okay, so that now we can go to direct control here. So if I come and click on that, and you can see my robot, it now runs those little programs that I put in there. So
Didn't I'm not an Airtable thing.
No,
sorry.
No.
Okay.
Well, have you got this bit going? Where, because this is one. So if yours is now working, so as I press these buttons here.
Yeah, no, I don't have that.
It runs the programs.
No.
So this is just direct control. So that's the first bit that we probably want to establish before we run off to Airtable, is just making sure you've got direct control happening.
Yeah, I don't have that. Oh, wait.
So,
addiction.
Wilson, are you?
Yeah, he's helping.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a different one.
Kane, is yours working?
I'm just having some trouble setting up Bluetooth for the robot, but and I still can't access the innovations website anyway. So
the site, yeah, it's all built around that site. Yeah.
Maybe
so it might, unless you can work out how to override the security issue, like the fact that it doesn't have the correct certificate. Yeah.
No, it's still green.
Usually it says, you know,
that's because that's
danger, don't proceed or something. Yeah. Wilson, have you made sure that you have disconnected it from this Spike app?
Yeah, so I'm checking now.
Yeah, so you know, if you have to, even just restart your hub. You know, but it shouldn't.
That one, the second one, because we physically disconnected it. Now it's green. No.
But if it's gone green, that's probably good.
Well, it would be, except it doesn't.
Do you have multiple windows? Just one, right?
Just one. Try this one again.
Well,
Well, oh, we haven't got.
we'll reload.
I tried. I'm trying.
No, reload the page.
Oh, we got that one paired as well. It's doing a thing.
Oh, there's lots of that. They all say paired, which is meaningless.
Okay.
So when the Bluetooth light on the hub lights up, that's when you know you've got a connection.
Okay. It's gone green again. Oh,
What descriptions are you getting in that dialog box, Wilson?
Hold on.
I'm just struggling to get it up again. 1 second.
I've got
If something to note as well is if you refresh the screen, it breaks the Bluetooth connection.
Yeah, we discovered that.
yeah. So we've got Bluetooth incoming port paired, Lego Hub LP2 paired, this laptop, and then
So it's probably it's the Lego Hub is the one that you need to have paired. So when you press connect on that, does it light up like the Bluetooth, the little Bluetooth?
Anxiety hub or something.
yeah, it doesn't turn green.
Can you see that that's lit up and flashing?
I'm sorry.
The Bluetooth button on the spike is flashing.
Yeah, on mine, can you see that that's flashing?
Yes.
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 Okay. So if I refresh, I'll refresh this page and it will stop flashing. I broke the connection, so it's no longer connected.
We're able to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then I come back and I hit I click on this little thing. It then opens a dialog box. I go to, in your case, you'll go to the Lego one. You'll select it. You'll hit connect.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it lights up a Bluetooth.
We do all that and we
Yep.
get the green button, but it doesn't work on the direct control, I mean.
Oh, it doesn't.
No, that's the hiccup that we're having.
That's the bit that you're having trouble with. Okay. And any of the 4 buttons don't work.
No, none of them.
Okay.
It's disconnected again.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
Neither are we.
Yeah. Kane, you don't have another laptop or a way to access. You can't go onto your phone and access the.
I've just tried to use my phone as a hotspot to try and change where the Wi-Fi connection is, but it's still not happy. Doesn't quite like that.
So it's not allowing you to bypass.
Nah.
Okay.
And I've got Bluetooth working in that the Spike Prime is connected to the laptop's Bluetooth, but I can't get it connecting via Bluetooth to the web browser.
Yeah. No. You connecting it to the laptop is really easy. Like you can do that in the app. That's the same. You've got to connect it through this browser, this service dock.
Yeah.
For that to work. So you have to get onto that page. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not our hub, and it's the other one. It's not connected. So maybe it's Lego Hub JC. So if you go on here, is there a Lego Hub?
Okay. What else could we? Do you want to go through the process of setting up Airtable?
Yeah, might as well, I guess.
Okay. So, yeah, So we've got to go to the Airtable page. So they've got this guide there.
It says it's not true. So if you click there and go to connect that, please goes around the card. We can get our screen, but it just doesn't.
And then, yeah, so we've got to create a free, your free Airtable guide.
It could be system permission.
Karen's worked. What she did was she connected here to here.
Mhm.
So connect, yeah, but
I just did.
okay, so
Before.
now it'll work.
Stop button.
Well, I didn't code that. So if you go here, it will now work.
I did, yeah, I did.
So what's the difference?
I connected it, I paired it to the computer before I tried to pair it through the app, the
Now
website,
pair it. No, it's not
through
paired.
Google.
Okay.
And it made noises. Do you want to go on the Airtable stuff? It won't do it till that screen.
Does it take time?
No, it was instant. And it did a lot of noises.
One of the bits was.
No. Go Bluetooth. Is it connected? Yeah.
No, it's not LP2.
It's LP. Oh, it's green now. What? Why does it work on hers and not ours? Maybe it would be. Now I'm being private. Oh. Just a moment, I had to get it out of a robot. I can't do it. Are they still there?
No.
They'll ring back. Yeah, no, that's the instructions.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like that.
It's green.
We're doing everything that the instructions are saying, and hers works and ours doesn't.
When in doubt.
So, Karen, were you able to get it working on the iPad?
Yeah, no.
No, I've got
no.
mine working off my computer through Chrome.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
I don't have
And
mine.
I have a
working.
Mac. So.
I have a Mac, I have Chrome, and mine is not working.
Okay. That is
And we'll-
weird.
All over it in a minute. I have faith. You can do this.
Wilson can solve all problems.
He's just like that.
I like the faith that you all you have.
I just bring my broken device near him and it works. It's just
Oh,
amazing.
okay. There you go. It has magical powers.
It does,
Good.
but not in this case.
Not yet. You just needs time. That's all.
Wilson,
I know.
you're not on the pedestal anymore. You're next to it.
Mhm. Got a hard taskmaster there.
Speak of.
No pressure. Just get this thing fixed. Let's ring IT. They'll know.
So this is connected.
I don't, Karen, could we compare, please? No, I need you to laptop. Could you go to your Bluetooth? And does it-
The Bluetooth up here?
Yeah, but if you open, yeah, and can you show me? And,
It came up here and I paired it.
oh,
In system preferences.
See, we can get the service dock to be connected, but then it just doesn't respond.
And you said we need to connect to the Spark first on the
Yeah,
system
so
level.
she just went like this and see it's connected. Yes? Does that mean connected?
Oh, yeah, because you've got highlight red. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then if we go like this, and then when we go like that, that disconnects it. So we go like this and we find our little thing here, because this is LP2, and we say connect, and that goes green. Eventually. It does go green. Hello. Not going green now. See, since you took your hands off my laptop, it's gone back a step. Oh yeah.
So redo the Bluetooth connect button. Are you going to try and pair it to your laptop, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't want it to be not pairable to mine. Or I want a new laptop, one of the two.
If you wait for December, January.
You know how long that is? But this is just craziness. I better turn off my Bluetooth. Oh, there you go. Something happened. So we just
turn
turned
the
you off.
Bluetooth on.
Turn it on.
Okay.
And
Click on that.
yeah. And
Okay,
then
so it's now connected because
click
it
on
has a happy
this.
heart.
And oh, happy hearts. And click on this. My laptop does not want to.
Click on direct control tab.
Yeah, it shouldn't matter on that.
No, it shouldn't,
Yeah.
but just
So it's not going to connect here because
no,
it
no,
doesn't
no, just
connect.
connect there. The hub. So you should
Sad
try
face.
Wilson.
Sad face.
Do I need the driver or I shouldn't?
No,
Um,
need to unconnect it from.
Hey, James, how you going?
Gary, how are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Looks like we're up and running on our end here.
Sorry, just repeat that. You're a little bit tricky to hear.
Oh, sorry. We're up and running on our end here.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about it. So I'm assuming the next part is actually controlling each other's robots and that sort of stuff.
Correct.
Cool. The software, so this service desk and the web interface and all that sort of stuff. Is this going to be sitting on their website, or are we able to get a copy of it or something like that so we can potentially run it ourselves?
Oh, a service desk is available. So where in the instructions you can grab. So it is something that's been developed by the CEEO, and so. But service desk is now somewhere in the instructions. Let me just try and find it. There's a link to where you can, where I reckon you would be able to build it yourself. So, or build it into your websites. Just trying to remember where.
All right, I'm going to call you back.
I got shut. Oh no. Here, so on the help. Wondering if it's connect to service doc.
Yeah, I think I found something about it on the help list. I'll have a look and I'll get back.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, man.
No, sorry. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that point there. Yeah, here, there's a lot of information about service doc. Are you able to see my screen shared?
Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
it. Yep.
So there's a lot of information there around service doc.
All right, cool. I'll have a look if I've got any queries. I'll hit you out.
No worries.
Awesome. Thanks, James.
Okay. Thanks, Gary. Cheers. Okay. Kane, I think we're pulled back into the main setup.
Yeah, I just got a thing saying that it was going to close in 30 seconds anyway.
Right. So how are things going? I thought I'd bring us all together because it's nearing the end of the time. And I want to talk a little bit about what I would actually do as a teacher in a classroom, and then sort of what the learning goals would be, and then field any questions and actually give you guys a live demo of one group that actually got it all to work, which is amazing. So the idea is really, for all of this, is really where else can you go with the robotics that is fun? And certainly telerobots is a huge area of research, as more and more people want to send robots where humans can't go, into caves, into dangerous areas, over to Mars, all this kind of stuff. So there's a bunch of cool applications that students will get excited about. It's non-trivial because so many things can go wrong. So we decided, James said, what could we do that would definitely demonstrate us failing? Because, you know, it's all about failure. So we figured this would be perfect. If I were doing this in a classroom, the first button control is probably as far as I would get. It actually is really fun to drive your robot around with those buttons and drive it around the classroom. And you can do that pretty reliably, maybe using a cable. And of course, if all else fails, you don't need any of the web page. You can go straight from the software and just hit run and just keep moving forward, so that students that get way ahead will get something fancy working. Students that are behind can at least get something to move around. If worse comes to worse, you can pre-program it to drive straight for 5 minutes. And that's really pretty cool too, as it drives down the hallway and slams into a side wall, and the students think that's hilarious. The second part, as soon as you start talking about moving into the cloud, that's when things get complicated. So IoT, which is becoming more and more a part of our everyday life, has a number of attributes to it that you guys have already started to play with. So anytime you log into anything that is remotely controlled, when it says use your Google login or whatever, that's getting an API key. that API key is the number that makes the difference. It lets you into everything. So if you're doing your banking account online, it's an API key that's actually letting you into your bank. If you are wanting your robot to control your bank, you can do that. If you have an electric car, you can have your robot actually start your car. We've done that. And that's because they have the API key for my car. So the API key is something you don't want to share. You can regenerate them really easily, so it's nice. You don't have to share passwords. If you share the API key with your classroom, you can kill it, generate a new one, and your account hasn't changed at all. So that's pretty handy. There are API keys out there for just about anything you can imagine. So where this ISS currently is, what the weather's going to be tomorrow, your favorite Chuck Norris joke, you name it, there's an API key for it. So Airtable has an API key. Then it has a base ID, which is an ID that talks about the one table that you have up there. So now I know how to get into your particular Airtable through your API key to the table you're talking about with a table ID. And then you have your record ID, which tells you actually the cell that you're talking about in the table. So that's how it knows to go grab that and see whether or not you'll go forward. So to see it all actually work, again, if I were teaching this in class, I would probably end with the arrows. But if I had some kids that wanted to go on further, start throwing them down that road and see how excited the students got, it can be pretty cool. So what you can eventually do is you can be Shane and control Tim's robot. So Shane, you want to drive Tim's robot around? Can everybody see Tim's robot?
Yeah, I just noticed someone else was driving it a minute ago too. So but yeah.
Also, multiple people can send commands to the same. Yeah.
So I'm just trying to back it out from under the table at the moment. And turn it towards Tim. Oop, gone past him. I'll try and get under Tim's chair.
And just out of curiosity, where are you guys?
I'm in Bathurst, New South Wales, Australia.
And I'm in Canberra.
Cool. And your information is going to the other side of the world, probably some server somewhere
in the US.
Yeah, right. And you can see the latency is not that bad. You start to learn a little bit about what it's like actually when you have to send the message to Mars, and it takes tens of minutes.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's only part of a second for once you click it to sort of see the command start to work. So it's I won't try and get too far under Tim's chair, but no, it's work. It's cool.
And then left. You should go under.
Call it out when you click it, and we can see this.
Okay. Well, I'm about to. It's clicking turn left now.
Okay.
And then clicking forward now.
And if you do the special action, you'll be able to get a full view.
360.
Yeah, clicking that now.
Panorama.
Yeah.
Cool. So hopefully, thanks. Great demo, guys. I can't believe you guys actually got it done in 2 hours. That's amazing. But hopefully you can start to see some learning outcomes that you can do. There's you can bring in a ton of math, you can bring in science, you can bring in literacy, whatever it is you want to do is when you start talking about remote exploration. So we have about 15 minutes left. And what I'd like to do is instead of rushing to get everything to work, you guys have the web page, you have my email address. I'm happy to hop on Zoom at any time to try and debug what's going on as to why it's not working. And you can play with it at your leisure. What I'd rather do is talk a little bit at the end just about where you guys see potential learnings. So where it would fit in the classroom, what do you see your students getting excited about? What sort of facades can you put around this concept of remote control that would get all students excited?
I certainly think that there'd be lots of students who would enjoy being able to do something remote. I'm sort of thinking at our school, we do a big project in year 12, which is our final year. And being able to do something like this with like a drone or something like that would be really awesome. Probably want to go Raspberry Pi or similar rather than the Lego stuff, but the thing I'm sort of thinking with if you're doing a drone or something, you need a whole lot of just simple AI in there to keep the drone flying steadily when it's not getting instructions.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be a really nice challenging thing for those senior students, I think, to do.
Yep. You could do something similar with the Lego. It would take some serious coding, but where they have to navigate a maze or something unless you jump in and tell them to do something different. So this idea of subsumption architecture, deciding priorities and all of what you're saying is, the drone's got to fly, and then at any point you say, change your flight pattern. You can actually do that on the ground as well. And there's some really advanced robotic concepts you can teach with that.
Yeah, that might actually work better.
No one gets hurt. So we do have a question in the chat. Using old EV3 robots and the old coding 2 for grade 7, it says that the color sensor can read ambient light on the Lego site, but I can't seem to find the code block for that. Can the sensor do that natively, or does it have to be coded through Python to measure ambient light? If you're talking on the EV3, it's a different mode. Well, actually on both of them, it's a mode setting. I'm sure you can do that in Python. I'm not sure which version of the software you're using for the EV3. I know you could flip it in the old LabVIEW code, but the new stuff, I'm not sure. Oh, and on Spike Prime, yes.
You can change it in, to ambient light mode. I don't think it does it? It's just.
I know how to do it in Python. There's a mode setting. It's mode 3, I think is the one you want for just ambient. I don't know how to do it in block code because I don't use the block code much, but something must be there.
Can you get this remote stuff set up through the EV3?
Actually, you can do much better on the EV3 because the EV3 has an OS, an operating system. So if you actually put a Wi-Fi dongle in and you use Python on that, you can actually write your own little web server that it will serve up, and your phone can just go to that access point of that web server and control it.
That was cool. Do you have any resources you've done in the past for that?
Yeah. Where are they? I'm not sure. But my email, I'll put my email in the chat. If anybody emails me, I will dig stuff up and send it their way.
Thanks.
Or even better, I'll have a student dig stuff up and send it your way. So yeah, yes. If you want to do it with Spike Prime, there are a couple of different ways you can do it. So we have a site that teaches you how to actually attach a ESP8266, which is a little web dongle for $5 to your Spike Prime. And then suddenly your Spike Prime's web enabled and you can do the same thing there. But that's part of another course, right, James?
Of course. Yes.
What other questions do people have or thoughts?
One question, Chris, that came up was they were asking about server stock and whether that is something that is this just built into your website, or is this something they can build into is server stock something they can build into their own websites? So do you know on that front?
I know somebody else has got their robot working. I see a cool video.
That's Stewie. Yes.
So service stock is an invention of Ethan Danahy's at the center. the code is all open source. We can send you a link to all the information if you want to use it. It's, you know, it's not a commercial piece of software. He used it in his class. Julia took his class, and I don't know how often did it crash.
It actually worked quite well for our class, and there is some documentation online too that we used for building this site for how you can like integrate his different functions. Like for example, for this, we're like sending each slot, right? So we're saying like, okay, if this button is pressed, execute slot 0, but you can also just directly control the spike as well. So there are functions that you can use to basically like move, let's say motor A a certain amount. And so there is like quite a bit of use there that you could use. And there is like documentation for that. And it was pretty consistent, as we've been seeing just like throughout this too. Bluetooth does get a little bit tricky, and I think that they're kind of working on that. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool. And I think Anna just sent the documentation for that in the chat just now too.
So, so there's a question of, is it possible to call one slot from the other? So James, do you know low-level Python? I know how to do that, but I'm not sure how to do it with their Python or the blocks.
I'm not sure how to do that. Yeah, I haven't.
So, so if you really want to hack the system, which is where my students usually hang out, is you can connect up Control-C out of everything that stops everything from running. And then any serial terminal, a Fani or any of these guys, Mu, all of those work in programming Python at a lower level. The documentation for that I can share. It's all being redone. So as Julia alluded to, they're rewriting the firmware for the brick that'll give much more stable Bluetooth and a much more space, because you rapidly run out of space if you start to get complicated code. So, so yes, all of that is possible when you go to the lower levels. If you're familiar with MicroPython and any other processor, ultimately it's the same thing here. They've just put the stuff on top to make it easier to use their IDE.
But I think, as Julie was saying, you probably don't need to call another program if you're accessing all the commands at a lower level. You can incorporate it into whatever your intentions are, whatever program you're writing, direct control.
And also the new firmware has got, so I don't know how much Python you guys have gotten into, but it supports async very nicely. So that if you want to teach parallel coding to your students, which I would say is probably more of the high school age group, it's all there and it all works. So that's be fun to do as well.
Chris, is that the firmware that's opening it up to third-party sensors and stuff? Is that the intention?
In theory, we'll see. But that is one of the goals. It always is a huge legal battle within Tufts, within Lego, to see what is actually going to be opened up and what is not. But the hope is, yes, that this will be a much more open world for folks to play. Cool. All right. Well, thanks all for coming. If you have any more questions or any issues, Juliana and I and James will hang out here until the top of the hour, whatever hour that is for you all, and answer any questions you have, and then email me, and I'm happy to send resources your way. But thanks a lot for coming, and it is pretty fun when you move your phone around remotely. So if you didn't get it to work today, I'd highly recommend at least getting that part to work, even if you're just driving straight.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think probably on behalf of everybody, Chris and Julie and Anna, who put it together, we're very grateful, and thank you very much for all the time and effort that you've put into producing this. I think everyone really appreciates it.
Sure.
Anyone else can jump in?
Hey, bud. All right.
There's one question in the chat about the retail set. I'm not sure what's happening to the retail set.
Timetables and Central.
It's the same,
Down the left side.
the same hardware underneath it, so you can load. I'm pretty sure you can load the other firmware. I've never actually tried. I should try that.
Then you just click in the slot.
Nice.
There you go. We obviously had a couple of advanced users even got the sensors working into their programs, so that was good.
I'm watching this driving thing and I don't know where it is on your screen, but it's pretty hilarious.
Which one is that, Tim's or is that Stewie's?
Stewie's. I think we need a head-to-head competition.
Okay, so Karen's asking, how does she connect Airtable to the Spike? Okay.
James?
Again.
Hey, James.
Yes.
I've got the API key typed in and the base ID from the guide, and the table name is robot. Then what do I do?
So okay.
There's a record ID that I didn't know what to do with. Oh, wait on. Maybe I just found it.
Yeah, that should be in your table.
Yeah.
And I copy the whole URL and then delete a bunch of stuff. But I don't know if there's a better, Julia, have you found a better way?
If you click on the cell, press Control-C, it will copy the cell, and then you can just paste it in. It doesn't have any of the other stuff.
That's cheating.
That's awesome to know about. Yeah, there's also like a formula. You could just make another field that will tell you like the record ID, but yeah, that's good to know about the Control-C there.
You got it working?
I just lost my page. So once you're in the table, you just click the commands within the table itself. Is that right?
Julia, do you want to?
You should be able to change the value of that cell by clicking on the buttons on your web page.
Okay. All right. I'll have a class. Thanks.
Are we done? Thank you.
Tim, you were asking, do we sell Spike bricks and sensor sets to replace the old EV3s but still use the old Lego? We do, except we don't recommend it because, you know, it's like buying a car in parts. You know, you can buy a car for 20 grand. If you buy it in parts, it costs you about 80 grand or something. And the Lego sets are the same. If you buy the set, it's like $500 or $600. If you buy the hub and the sensors and all the bits separately, you'd end up spending, you know, more and end up with less. So if you were just missing like a sensor or one particular sensor or something got lost, then it's worth buying the spares. But yeah, you can have a look at it, but it generally doesn't work out well for people to buy. You know, by the time you buy the hub, as I said, and a couple of sensors, you've bought most of the kit anyway. And yeah, you're probably better off to buy the actual kit that sets. So.
Plus the kit's got a couple very revolutionary pieces. One is the big yellow the big yellow base piece, the precision on that's incredible. You know how hard it is to get that many Lego holes to align properly? Then there's there's this guy here, the big bracket. It's pretty awesome. But by far my favorite are what they call the Kel brick, which is the brick that actually lets you use system brick combined with a Technic brick, which is pretty cool. And as to wasteful, so what we do is we just have all of our old kits as more parts, and they're using all those parts. We have done it where Spike Prime talks to EV3, but EV3s are getting old.
There are not many people who'd say you can have too much Lego anyway.
My wife, who's tired of stepping on them. Where are you driving? I want to know where you're going.
Does that move completely out of the classroom, has it, and gone off wandering through the rest of the school?
So, Judy, you were asking how to reprogram what the arrows do. That is definitely possible. That's Julia talked a little bit about that we do have links. I think, Anna, you sent the link, right, for that? Because it is all
sorry?
For how to reprogram the buttons on the web page.
Well,
yeah, through service doc.
Yeah.
It depends whether Judy's talking about just the simple program that's on the hub, or whether she's talking about the actual code on the
so
website.
through service doc, we're just telling it to like run slot 0, run slot 1, 2, 3, whatever when we hit those buttons. Specifically for like having code in those slots, as James said, that depends on what code you download, what code you write in the Spike web app and what you download onto each of those slots. So basically the arrows will just run what you have downloaded.
But if you were saying that on the web browser, so if you wanted to reprogram your own web page, you definitely can. And if you look at if you know HTML, you can look at the HTML on Julie and Anna's page, and start with that. It's pretty straightforward. If you have questions, you can always email me and I'll forward it to Julie.
Yeah, no, I definitely, like, if you inspect our page, you can go into our JavaScript functions. You can see exactly where we're calling that like execute command, which is how we're getting the like slots. And you could totally change that to be whatever you wanted using the documentation that Anna sent. And yeah, definitely reach out. Happy to help.
I'm getting a full tour here. Now, if only I could get a graffiti spray can on this thing, I could do all sorts of damage.
Yeah, that could be your extra action that you add.
That's right.
To like hit the button.
Put your tag up. Yes.
Anyway. All right. James, anything else you want?
No, I think I think that's great. I think most people have got an idea of some had success, which is great, and others will probably revisit and experiment more and learn more. Yeah, so it was a really good session. So whoever M Ward or Stewie is taking on we've seen a great little tour of some school, and yes, greatly appreciated anyway. Yes. So thank you to everybody. Yeah. Again, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Anna. And at that stage, at 11 o'clock, and as promised, 2 hours. So yes, thank you again. Anything else anyone wants to add in before we finish up? Oh, there you go. We're getting a wave from someone.
Cool. Well, Anna and Julia, thanks a lot for pulling it all together. And James, thanks for the opportunity. It was fun.
No worries. Yes, it was
Yeah,
great.
it's great. Great working with you. See
Okay.
y'all later.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.